On tonight's edition of the Overtime, all three high school volleyball teams are playing well. We have the full updates on Flag, Coco, and NPA. Flag football suffered a tough loss last week. Can they bounce back? We'll discuss. Coconino earned a much-needed homecoming win. We'll see if they can build on that. And NAU football suffered back-to-back losses. Can they get back in the win column? Thank you for joining us and welcome to this new season of The Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I'm your host, Austin Davis. We have a packed show for you tonight, and with me is sports reporter Cody Cameron, where we'll be discussing volleyball, football, and hey, how about some more football? Thanks for joining me, Cody. It's always a pleasure talking sports with you.
Austin, thank you for having me. A new season of The Overtime. And hey, man, you're looking pretty fresh. Brand new desk out there. Let's have a great show.
Hey, I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. So let's get right into high school volleyball. We have some pretty good teams in the Flagstaff area. But Cody, which volleyball team has impressed you the most?
Now, Austin, I'm really impressed with the girls' Flagstaff volleyball team. They had another huge victory against the Westwood Warriors on Tuesday, a game that was dominated by the Lady Eagles from the very first set. Senior captain Courtney Leffel leads this team with 323 kills and second on the team with 307 digs. With their big win on Tuesday night against Westwood, this team has a great record of 21-6 heading into this weekend.
Hey, I have to agree with you, Cody. Flagstaff has been dominant all year as they currently sit at number 18 in the state. But the Panthers are no slouch as they currently sit 29th. And I expect both of these teams to make deep playoff runs this year. But another team to watch out for is NPA. They have two twin towers in that middle, Gianna Strude and McKael Barnes. And as they continue to win, I can see them making a deep playoff run themselves. All right, let's move over to the football field, though. Last week was the Flagstaff Eagles' homecoming game, but things didn't work out the way they wanted. Cody, what happened in this game?
Now, the Flagstaff Eagles lost a heartbreaker on their homecoming game last Friday to the Payson Longhorns, 32-28. Now, Austin, I was at this game, and this was a crushing blow to the Eagles, who lost in the final seconds of the game on a goal line stand by the Longhorns. Now, the Eagles can get back, a little of their mojo with tonight's game against the 4-1 Vista Grande Spartans.
Hey, losing in the final seconds is tough. And a way to get back their mojo, as you said, Cody, I love what 6'3" receiver Bridger Hershey brings to the table. A big wide receiver gives quarterback Christian Singleton a weapon to look for. This connection could look a lot like the connection of Case Cookus and Emmanuel Butler. Hey, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to them, don't worry. After starting the season 2-3, Coconino earned a much-needed win against the Bulldogs on their homecoming. How can this team continue to improve upon this win, Cody?
Now, Coconino came out firing in this one, Austin, beating Barry Goldwater 55-34, and a game that featured 6 touchdowns thrown by quarterback Cristo Tabares, as well as, the top plays in your very own segment, Tuesday's Top 2. The Coconino offense looked in midseason form last Friday. Now, Coconino has a tough opponent tonight against the 4-1 Prescott Badgers. But you know what, Austin? I expect this offense to be rolling once again in this one.
This Panthers team showed they can finish drives and hit that deep pass. Cristo Tabares was dropping dimes to his receivers C.J. Anderson and Arthur Chee. Now that they have found a bit of a rhythm on offense, that defense needs to show some improvements. Allowing 34 points is too many to give up. In addition, they need to improve on ending the half defensively. Give Goldwater credit for moving the ball well in their 2-minute offense. But that defense needs to find a way to get a stop in those situations if they want to continue to improve. And after their blowout loss to the University of Arizona, the NAU Lumberjacks began their Big Sky play against Montana. This one did not go as planned. What can they take from this game in order to get back in the win column?
Now, NAU football cannot get the victory in Missoula this past week, losing to the University of Montana 23-14. Now, NAU's offense really struggled in this one, getting shut out after 2 quarters of play. But, NAU found their go-to connection in the third quarter with Case Cookus hooking up with Emmanuel Butler for 2 more touchdowns. Now, running back Casey Yon added 87 yards on the ground, but there still was not enough firepower for the Jacks offense. NAU hosts Montana State tomorrow in the Sky Dome for a huge Big Sky Conference game. But you know what, Austin? I'll let you get to that.
Yeah, you said it all, Cody. This team struggled on offense, and they needed that Case Cookus to Emmanuel Butler connection in this one. This is a big part of their offense, and they need it to be consistent throughout the game, throughout the season to get enough wins, and especially against Montana State in the Dome tomorrow. I expect the fans to be electric, so there should be an added bonus to playing against the Bobcats, but we'll see what happens with this team tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. We have Jason Friedman sitting down with Lumberjack sports editor Zach Ashton to discuss NAU soccer. We'll be right back.
That's low.
Look, he's blushing.
Seriously.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Welcome back. Our very own sports reporter Jason Friedman is with sports editor Zach Ashton to discuss the start of Big Sky play for the NAU soccer team. Take it away, Jason.
Thank you, Austin. Joining me now in studio is Zach Ashton, the Lumberjack sports editor. Zach, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me on, Jason.
All right, well, we're going to talk some NAU women's soccer, so let's get right into it. The Lumberjacks are 6-5 now to start this season, and they're coming off a 12-win season last year where the Big Sky Conference Championship. Would you say this team is better than last year's team?
Well, I mean, you just said it right there, the Big Sky Conference champions. I mean, I think that's the goal that they want to reach this year. Starting off this year, they were replacing a couple of players in their back line that were all conference players that graduated. And in their first 3 games, they got outshot 8-2 and lost all 3 games. Over their last 8 games, I should say, they've gone 6-2 and outscored teams 24-7 on the offensive side of the ball. So I would definitely say that this team has the capabilities of winning another Big Sky Conference championship and being just as good as last year's team.
So Haley Wingender, last year's leading scorer, she is already off to a real hot start this season, already being named Big Sky Offensive Player of the Week twice. How important is she to this team?
Well, you're talking about a player that scored 19 goals over the past year and a half, or season and a half. So you're looking at a player that teams have to game plan for when you're looking at them on the schedule. And when teams pay more attention to her, it opens up opportunities for more of the forwards that are playing in the front, like Adrian Nix and Lindsay Doyle.
All right, so we all know about Haley Wingender. Who else are the key players on this team that everybody should know about?
So one situation to look at on this team is the goalkeeper situation. We've had Natalie Gilbertson, the starter, kind of going in and out of the lineup over the past few games with an injury. Megan Dickman's been coming in and replacing for her, and it's been really good. A couple players to watch. One that I just mentioned was sophomore forward Adrian Nix. She's second on the team in scoring with 4 goals this year, and she is really the player that's going to take over the offensive reins for Haley Wingender when she graduates this season.
All right, last question. How do you think this team's going to finish the season?
Well, they have 8 games left in the conference. They have 5 of those 8 at home. I think if they can win 2 out of their next 3 and get past Eastern Washington and Idaho successfully with wins, I think that they'll challenge for the Big Sky Conference Championship once again. Eastern Washington is 8-1-1. They've only lost 1 game at a neutral site in Portland, Oregon. And their next opponent, Montana, on this Sunday, was actually coming into the Big Sky Conference this season as preseason favorites with the Lumberjacks to win the conference. They've kind of had a rough start going 3-7-1, but that's definitely a game that NAU needs to look out for. So if they can get past these next 5 games, I think that they can definitely win the Big Sky Conference Championship once again.
All right, thanks a lot, Zach. Austin, back to you.
Thank you, Jason and Zach, for joining us tonight to give us your insight on NAU soccer. Only time will tell if this soccer team can defend their Big Sky title from last year. And we have sports reporter Zach Warhack to preview this weekend in sports. Look at that, another Zach. How is this weekend looking for the city of Flagstaff sports?
Yeah, Austin, this weekend looks packed, but I'll tell you about that right after the break.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. First pitch is fouled between back.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Welcome back to the OT. I'm Zach Warhack, here with your sports previews. And boy, is there a lot to look forward to in this jam-packed weekend. Coming off of a big homecoming win against Barry Goldwater, Coconino quarterback Cristo Tabares looks to lead the Panthers to another win this Friday at 7 p.m. over Prescott High at Coconino. The Flagstaff Eagles are looking to bounce back after a tough loss against Payson last week. The Eagles are on the road to take on Vista Grande this Friday at 7 p.m. NAU football is looking to snap a 2-game losing streak as they take on Montana State this Saturday in the Sky Dome at 4 p.m. Watch out for big playmaker Emmanuel Butler, who has averaged 128.8 yards per game this season. You can catch this game on Fox Sports AZ Plus and find any additional stats at nauathletics.com. The women's soccer team is at Montana this Sunday, October 4th at 11 a.m. The team looks to continue its winning ways after defeating Portland State 2-1 earlier this week. It's finally that time of the year. Hockey is back. The Ice Jacks opened at home against Utah State University last night, and they take on the Aggies again tonight. Last week, the team kicked off their season against Arizona, losing 4-3 and 4-0. Make sure you come out to Jay Lively to check them out tonight. NAU women's volleyball plays Southern Utah on the road at 6 p.m. on Saturday, led by Janae Vanderploeg, who has 261 kills in 15 games this season. The ladies are looking to bounce back from a tough loss against Portland State last week. Well, that's all we got this week, so make sure you come check out your local sports.
Hey, we have some good games this weekend, Zach. Cody, what is your game to watch for and why?
Well, you know what, Austin? Friday night high school football. Coconino, I mean, you look at their quarterback, Cristo Tabares, 6 touchdowns last week.
Oh, man, he's been going off.
That is crazy. So, of course, I'm going to go to Coconino. But what about yourself? There's a lot going on this weekend.
I do like that Coco game. I've been to a couple games, and that, you know, you're right. I think I might have to join you because Cristo Tabares has been playing great. I mean, you look at the throws he made to C.J. Anderson and Arthur Chee. Those were dime pieces. Hey, I'm a former quarterback, and I love how he throws it. Well, thank you for joining me, Cody, Zach, Jason too. Be sure to check us out every Friday night for some more fun. 6:15. Stay with us always on Fridays.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Good show, man.